There is an old adage that everybody talks about that has been around for a long time, and that concept is this concept of servant leadership. When I think about servant leadership, I think about Starr.
Starr has that innate ability to make other people better around her because they see her energy, her passion, her commitment.
She exudes confidence, not because she's a forceful personality, but because she's knowledgeable and she doesn't get rattled.
I think she inherited my dad's brain because that man could always know something or know how to do things and not have any experience in the area. My sister is the same way.
My name, Starr, came from the comic strip that was around in the 50s and 60s, Brenda Starr. She was a detective, so that's where my mother got the name Starr. I'm the only one with a different name, and it wasn't divinely inspired. It came from a comic strip, so.
Starr has so much of this community involvement in her family background. She brings that to the hospital.
A number of the programs that have been developed and have been directed with great intentionality under the tutelage of Starr Purdue includes the program related to the Cancer Center, our program related to robotics, our program related to pediatric emergency room, our joint program, our Center for Autism and Development, our telehealth platform.
Even though she's got the business sense to manage an institution the size of the hospital, she's aware of the community for which it is being managed and the purposes that it serves.
When I came on the board, the Children's Hospital was here, but it needed to grow, needed to be expanded, and I would hear pediatricians and pediatric surgeons and nurses talk about how we needed to do more in that area.
This is our architectural drawing of the Children's Hospital. Will be ready in spring of 2019.
We really finally got to the point where we could put it on paper, design it, get it funded. We hope to be able to finish that Children's Hospital in about a year. Now, for Christmas, will we be doing anything like the Christmas tree lighting? Yes. Or okay, that will be great.
That's definitely a matter of fact.
The Children's Hospital is going to be a great factor in improving how we're able to take care of people from the Georgia state line up to here.
How long before the sheetrock starts?
Hopefully next week.
Excellent. So, very good. Okay.
Hoping to finish up
Finally, the dream that they had, and I've heard them talk about it for 15 years, of having a children's hospital, that dream is now being realized.
Don Falk had been a strong leader for the hospital. He had been CEO since the mid-90s. She wasn't nearly as intimidated as I was about trying to replace Don, and we were so fortunate in finding Ninfa.
As we transitioned to a new CEO, we also were learning and beginning to feel that a lot of things were changing in healthcare. Things were starting to move toward Macon in a way that made us feel like we're probably not going to be isolated forever.
The last 6 years has been second to none when it comes to coalescing and building a guided coalition.
We brought in people who had mergers and acquisition experience. We brought in healthcare attorneys. We brought in people with vast financial backgrounds, strategic planning type expertise, and it has helped us immensely kind of chart our course.
She has no problem making sure that the differences in opinion is a good platform for convergence of opinion.
You can still work with people who have very different ideas from what you have, but it's a matter of appreciating that difference of opinion.
So today we have a board that really is not shy about sharing what their position is. And at the end, when convergence is beginning to happen, then she calls the attention of everyone to get to unity, to get to the common purpose.
Starr comes from an amazing family. Her great-grandfather started a business in 1895 that she is now still running. It's a wonderful story of success by a family that was strong and good values and has played an important role really since they've been here.
Our great-grandfather was born a slave in 1856. He got his freedom, obviously, with the Civil War, and was able to put all 6 of his kids through college.
My sister and I are 4th generation funeral directors and embalmers, and it's the kind of thing where the generation before you want to make sure that you keep up what the foundation that they provided and the hard work that they put into it. It's been a real ride, I would say, but I've learned so much, and I don't regret it at all.
She's done so much other stuff in the community, the museums, the Chamber of Commerce. She's been terribly involved.
The Tubman Museum is just a wonderful asset to this community. I consider it the jewel of Macon.
We moved from an 8,000 square foot facility to a 49,000 square foot facility. And you can imagine the cost differences and the amount of revenue and the income and managing it.
I serve on the finance committee for that organization. I'm a CPA, so part of my financial background helps with that committee.
With us working as a team, we've been able to manage the revenue of this museum. We've had clean audits every year. Without that team that Starr's on and her level of expertise, I'm sure we would not be able to do some of the things we've done. She's not doing it for her personal agenda. She doesn't have one, except for the greater good.
Now, you probably know more about healthcare reimbursement than I do at this point, like we've been doing in the past. You do an answer, you work on an answer, I work on an answer, we'll kind of compare notes. Ashley is a very academically driven person. She's an A student, and she's going to always work for that. Ashley had to take accounting, and accounting is not, intuitive for most people. So Ashley reached out to me and said, please, can you help me understand these concepts?
I said, Miss Starr, could you help me with this? And she said, yeah, I can. And she did. She made time for me throughout her busy schedule.
How are your grades so far?
4.0.
4.0, excellent.
Sometimes it would be 9 or 10 o'clock before we could even get together, but she would help me.
A lot of times I had to go back and reread the chapter. I said, Ashley, I want to be as most help as I can. I said, but you've got a better handle on a lot of this than I ever will. So, be confident.
Starr she's always motivated me to keep going and push for that A.
Starr has this tremendous passion, tremendous leadership, and intellectual intelligence that is beyond measure.
Her authenticity, her sincerity, and her being, and what she believes in, is what inspires this organization to be what it needs to be.
Whether it's at the medical center chairing the board, whether she's at the chamber chairing the board, whether she's at the Tubman, it all comes out.
It's not just intelligence, it's being able to know what to do with that intelligence and to know what to do in situations sometimes where you just don't have any experience in.
She's really an amazing woman.
Her mother gave her that name, Starr. She's a real star.
I think Starr will be in my life forever. We're pretty much family.
So when I think about Navicent Health's logo, that everything about us is about you, and in the center of what we do is you, that is what Starr Purdue represents every day and in every way.